Hey guys, I'm still right here in downtown Stillwater. Hope you guys are enjoying a little more spring break, but I got another round of quadratic formula, round 3, coming at you with 3 examples. So here we go. First example already on the board ready for us. As you know, with quadratic formula, it must be equal to 0, and it is. So now we can jump straight into plugging in our values for A, B, and C. So we've got our A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals negative 17. All right, so we've got our values for A, B, and C. Our very favorite formula showing up again, quadratic formula. So we've done this so many times, you've got this down, memorized. As soon as I say quadratic formula, you just start spouting it out. So here it is, again, and you know what I'm going to do. I don't like it all like this. Let's set it up where we can just drop in our numbers. Boom. So I've got all those spots lined up, ready to plug our values for A, B, and C and just shoot them right in there. B right up at the bat, positive 2, no stress. A, positive 1, that's good. Uh-oh, big trouble. Negative 17 right here for C. So we know that anytime your C value is a negative, you got to be on the lookout for this negative times that negative. Here we go. Let's go next step. Negative 2, plus or minus. Boom. 2 squared, 4. Negative times negative. That's positive. And here we have 4 times 17, 68. All this over 2. Negative 2, plus or minus. 4 plus 68, 72 over 2. So this is why our third round of quadratic formula is a little different, because of this right here. Not a good number. Not at all. We take 72 and we think, oh man, I got to break this down. I got to factor tree that down. Well, let's do it. So jump over, grab a 72, and set up your factor tree for that. Like, oh, okay, 72. Like 2 and 36, 2 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 3. And it doesn't matter what you could have chose, like 7, could have started with 8 and 9. It makes no difference. All these 2s and 3s end up the same. So 72 is what you start with. We break it down to be a bunch of 2s and 3s. So you remember this. It's a square root. You're hunting 2 of a kind, pairs of numbers. Here's 1 pair of 2s. Here's 1 pair of 3s. We were good at this. Grab those 2s. Grab those 3s. On the outside, you only write them 1 time. So this pair of 2s becomes 1, 2. This pair of 3s becomes 1, 3. And square root of 72, we change, becomes 6 square roots of 2. So we had this. We're going to change it to that. All right, so we did our factor tree magic. We got 72 rerouted. Let's plug them in. So this was square root of 72, but now we did all of that math, and we can change this to 6 square roots of 2. Okay, we've got it set up for the home stretch. We're going to run a split. So it's similar to what we did on the last homework. Run a split. Negative 2 over 2, and 6 square roots of 2 over 2. After you run the split, clean up each part. 2 and 2 becomes negative 1. And then we can work this little part right here, 6 square roots of 2 over 2. The 6 and the 2 divide out, and that gives us a 3 square roots of 2. So what we're looking at now is kind of a good news, bad news situation. All right. Bad news. A regular number like negative 1 cannot add or subtract with a square root. They are not like terms. You cannot put them together. That's the bad news. Well, the good news though, here's the good news. Aha. You cannot put them together. You don't have anything more to do. You're done with the problem. So that's the good news. Okay, let's run 3 examples of this, trying to work through some of the factor tree stuff. We'll call that example 1. Let's roll with example 2. Here we go. 2x squared plus plus 8x plus 3 equals 0. All right, guys. Again, you're always checking. Is it equal to 0? Yes. Can I pick out my A's, B's, C's? Yes, I can. A equals, B equals, C equals. So we've got a 2. We've got an 8. We've got a 3. We've got no negative signs. We're feeling good about just popping it straight in. Quadratic formula, let's go. So negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I've got it all laid out. I've got my values ready to substitute in. It's all right in front of me. B value is an 8. Here's an 8. A is 2 and 2. And C is 3. Okay, no C being negative this time. Less pressure on us. Let's see what this cleans up to be. Negative 8 plus or minus 8 squared, that's 64. And then we got to do 4 times 2 times 3. I believe that 8 times 3 would be 24. All this is over 4. All right, here's what we're looking at. Underneath here, we got to clean up this, 64 minus 24, and this is where the trouble runs into. So we've got a little bit of issues right here. A square root of 40, not a nice number. So you've got to go to work, you got to think, okay, square root of 40. I've got to do my factor tree magic on him and break him down. So square root of 40, peel off to the side, start working some of that factor tree stuff. Think, okay, 2, 20, 2, 10, 2, 5. So it was 40. We break it down, and after we break it down, let's see what we got left. So square root of 40. So now we're looking at 2, 2, 2, 5. And it is a square root, so you're still looking for pairs of numbers. We're looking for 2 of a kind that we can get out of there. So grab that 2 of a kind, get them out of there. And you only write it one time on the inside. This 2 and 5 multiply together, and that's how you get 10. So square root of 40, we rewrite to become 2 square roots of 10. Now we can finish the problem. All right, let's finish this problem up. So we had negative 8. We had plus or minus. All this was over 4. It was square root of 40. We did that factor tree magic. Changed it to 2 square roots of 10. Okay, let's run the split. Negative 8, 2 square roots of 10. Run the split. And this is what you're running in today with more trouble, is this one's not bad. That's just going to be negative 2. This is a fraction that reduces. So the 2/4 can reduce down to be 1/2. And don't forget your square root of 10. Now you're in that same good news, bad news situation where you have a regular number and a square root that you cannot combine them. So, bad news, cannot combine them. Good news, you're done with the problem. X is equal to negative 2 plus or minus 1 square root of 10 over 2. And you can leave it just like that. You don't have to write it out twice. You can leave it plus or minus, and that'll be A-okay. All right, we're thinking 3 examples. That's 2 down, 1 more to go. Let's roll the last one in there. Okay, last one. Number 3, here we go. Oh, 3x squared plus 2x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, every time you do quadratic formula, you're always checking, equals 0. Good, I can proceed with this. Let's proceed. We've got A values, B values, C values. So here's A equals, B equals, C equals. We've got 3, we've got 2, we've got negative 2. A's, B's, and C's. So for this last example, we've got the questions, we've got the A's, B's, and C's. We're going to plug quadratic formula in, make this magic happen. So there's quadratic formula, and I've got it all opened up, ready to substitute in. Here's my A's, B's, and C's. B is positive 2. A is positive 3. C negative 2. C is negative 2. Oh boy, anytime you have a negative C value, you've got to be on the watch for this negative. Hitting that negative. That's trouble. So negative 2 plus or minus 2 squared, that's 4. Here it is. Negative times negative, that is a positive. So make sure you get that. Negative times negative is positive. 4 times 3 times 2, that's 24. All this is over 6. 4 plus 24, that's your 28. And that's where we run in today's point of emphasis today, dealing with this. So this 28, not a nice number. So you've got to take him, factor treeing, breaking down, work with him. All right, let's do it. Not much on a 28. I think most of you guys just jump on 4 times 7. Like 28, 4 times 7. You use 2 times 14. It's going to give you the same numbers. So it was square root of 28, but after we break it down, 2, 2, 7, 2, 2, 7, you start hunting and finding pairs of numbers. Like, oh, found one, pair of 2s. So you grab that pair of 2s, get them out of there. And just like that, boom, you've got it broke down. So it was square root of 28, not that good. Had to break it down, change it to 2 square roots of 7. All right, let's finish this off. So we had negative 2 plus or minus. The whole thing was over 6. It was square root of 28. But we did the math, and can't quite fit that in there. We did the math, and this becomes 2 square roots of 7. All right, run your split on it. Negative 2 over 6, 2 square roots of 7 over 6. And this is a double fraction on this. 2, 6, it's a fraction. You say, can my fraction reduce? Well, why, yes, it can. So 2, 6 reduces to 1/3. And then look at this. This is also a 2, 6. This will reduce to 1/3. And don't forget your square root of 7. So again, guys, you're in that spot where fraction, regular, this is a square root, cannot combine. So you're stuck with this. This is what you're stuck with. So x is equal to negative 1/3 plus or minus 1 square roots of 7 over 3. You don't have to have the 1 in there, but you keep it if you want. And guys, this will work just fine for a final answer for me. You don't have to write it twice. You can leave it as plus and minus. I think that works. All right, guys. So there's our 3 examples for quadratic formula today. So let's get our homework set. Let me put this up on the board for you. And here we go. All right, so we're looking at homework 3, and we left off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so we're picking right up with number 9. So here we go. X, whoa, that's not that good a square. So x squared minus 10x plus 18 equals 0. X squared minus 2x minus 4 equals 0. 11 x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals 0. And number 12, 4x squared minus 8x plus 1 equals 0. All right, guys, I'll get out of the way. You can copy this. While you're copying these problems for your 3rd homework, bear in mind, you're enjoying spring break right now, but this is all coming. It's due. It's due Friday, April 3rd at high noon. So by noon, you have sent me this on an email, and it looks awesome. You've written the question, you've showed all your work, a lot of steps, you got the formula, you got the correct answers. All right, so this is what we've got coming to me. So let's recap everything. You've got homework -1, you've got homework -2, you've got homework -3. And all this is due on April 3rd which is a Friday, and it's all due at 12 o'clock noon, you need to have this emailed to me. Well, all right, guys. That's it for this installment. Thanks for trying to make all this work. We're trying to. I'll catch you guys later.